Jewish communities will not be safe as long as the Israeli government is carrying out this genocide and doing it in our name. So I think that there's multiple reasons that it's really important that Jews speak out as Jews in solidarity with the Palestinian-led Palestine Liberation Movement. Jewish Voice for Peace is a national anti-Zionist Jewish organization. We have over 100 local formations across the states and are growing rapidly. And our focus has been and will continue to be, first and foremost, to stop the Israeli genocide against Palestinians in Gaza. There's been this kind of tenuous ceasefire that really actually hasn't held very strongly. We've seen the Israeli government continue to carry out attacks against Palestinians. And so our work continues to try to end this genocide. But more broadly than that also, our work is to grow the Jewish community in the United States that is loudly organizing and speaking out to show that Judaism is not Zionism and that Jews do not support the Israeli government's apartheid, occupation, and genocide of Palestinians. We are working not just to end the genocide, but to address the root causes that led to this genocide and that continue to play a role in this genocide. And so the way that we think about this at Jewish Voice for Peace is that there are really three pillars, if you will, that hold up the US government's complicity in the Israeli government's atrocities. There's the political pillar, which is the ongoing, atrocious, unconditional military funding of the Israeli government's war crimes and crimes against humanity, including weapon sales, ongoing weapon sales to Israel that continue to be used to slaughter Palestinians in Gaza and kill Palestinians across Palestine. There's also the financial pillar, where there are private industries in this country that are profiteering from apartheid, from occupation, from genocide. And then, of course, there's the cultural pillar, where there are stories that get told in the US and narratives in media that are misrepresenting what is really happening and that kind of tell a false story that Jewish safety is somehow intertwined with the Israeli government's ethno-nationalism, which is simply untrue. Jewish liberation and Palestinian liberation, Jewish safety and Palestinian safety, these things are intertwined. And the Israeli government and the US government try to conflate Jews around the world with Israel. That is simply false, and it's not true. Netanyahu, every time he opens his mouth, acts as though he is speaking for the global Jewish diaspora. He is not. And Jews across the world do not want to see a genocide and apartheid being carried out in our name. We don't want to see it happening at all, let alone in our name. And so I think that there's a few reasons that Jewish solidarity with Palestine and Jewish organizing as part of the broader Palestinian liberation movement to end this genocide, to end apartheid, is so important. First and foremost is that, especially in the US, there is kind of a false moral cover that is given to US complicity in Israeli genocide, where we see presidents, members of Congress, other government officials say that they are supporting the Israeli government's genocide of Palestinians for Jewish safety. That is a lie. It is false. This genocide makes everyone less safe. First and foremost, the Palestinians who are being starved to death, who are being slaughtered, but it absolutely makes Jews and everyone else across the world less safe too. And so I think that it's very important that Jews be organizing as part of the Palestinian rights movement to try to basically tear off that moral cover and say, no, the Israeli government's actions are not happening for Jewish safety. They are happening for their own political reasons. They're happening for the sake of private industries and weapons manufacturers that are profiteering off these things, many other reasons, but it has nothing to do with Jewish safety.